It's good to see you today. We're going to be looking at the account of when the Syrians have surrounded Elisha and his servant, and all of a sudden Elisha asked the Lord to open the servant's eyes today. Our hymn is called When the Veil is Lifted. When the Veil is Lifted. Thought that was a pretty hymn. Let's look at our passage in 2 Kings chapter 8, chapter 6, verse 8. Now the king of Syria was making war against Israel, and he consulted with his servants, saying, My camp will be in such and such a place. And the man of God sent to the king of Israel, saying, Beware that you do not pass this place, for the Syrians are coming down there. Then the king of Israel sent someone to the place of which the man of God had told him. Thus he warned him, and he was watchful there, not just once or twice. Now what that leads to is the king of Syria thinks that he has a spy in his midst. And the servants say, No, you don't have a spy. You got a problem, though. Elisha, the prophet who's in Israel, keeps telling the king of Israel all your plans. And so he says, You go see where he is so that I may go get him. And it was told him he's in Dothan. So he sends horses and chariots and a great army there, verse 14, and they came by night and surrounded the city. When the servant of the man of God arose early and went out, there was an army surrounding the city with horses and chariots, and his servant said to him, Alas, my master, what shall we do? So he answered, Do not fear, for those who are with us are more than those who are with them. And Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray, open his eyes that he may see. Then the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire all around Elisha. So when the Syrians came down to him, Elisha prayed to the Lord, and said, Strike this people, I pray, with blindness. And he struck them with blindness, according to the word of Elisha. Now Elisha said to them, This is not the way, nor is this the city. Follow me, and I will bring you to the man whom you seek. But he led them to Samaria. So it was, when they had come to Samaria, that Elisha said, Lord, open the eyes of these men, that they may see. And the Lord opened their eyes, and they saw, and there they were inside Samaria. Now when the king of Israel saw them, he said to Elisha, My father, shall I kill them? Shall I kill them? But he answered, You shall not kill them. Would you kill those whom you have taken captive with your sword and your bow? Set food and water before them, that they may eat and drink and go to their master. Then he prepared a great feast for them, and after they ate and drank, he sent them away, and they went to their master. So the bands of Syrian raiders came no more into the land of Israel. Just an amazing account. And so, Elisha prays, open his eyes. And the servant, all of a sudden, the servant is so scared, right, with the Syrian army surrounding the city. And now he looks, and surrounding the Syrian army are the hosts of heaven. And it's just, what a sight it must have been when the veil was lifted for just a moment. The mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire all around Elisha. You know, can you imagine when Peter draws that sword and strikes Malchus and cuts Malchus's ear off in the garden? And Jesus tells him to put his sword away. And Jesus says, don't you think I could ask my Father and he'd send the angels? And I'm not saying Jesus should have done this, but if the veil would have been pulled back just a hair, and if Peter could have seen all the hosts of heaven standing at attention, it's like you just give the word, and the Father will send us. See, the servant was so afraid of that Syrian army, and in one fell swoop, the Lord is showing that Syrian army isn't anything. I could wipe them off the face of the map. I could squash them like a bug. Don't you worry about them. So Elisha had prayed, open his eyes so he could see. But Elisha also prayed, strike this people, I pray, with blindness. So open my servant's eyes and close the Syrians' eyes. And he struck them with blindness according to the word of Elisha. And then Elisha says, this isn't the way. This isn't the city you're looking for. Follow me. I'll bring you to the man who you seek. And he actually leads them to Samaria, the capital of Israel, capital of the northern tribes. And their eyes are closed. Their eyes are shut. They're blind. Whenever people are blinded in Scripture, and I can think of at least a couple times when that happens, one is Saul of Tarsus, and another one is in the account when Saul starts being known as Paul. There's a fellow there who's struck with blindness in the book of Acts. With Saul of Tarsus, he's blind for a number of days, for a few days, 3 days. What do you think he's doing for those 3 days? Like, you need to think about things. You need to reflect on your life's choices. You need to have a little bit of faith rather than walking by sight. And it's like, okay, you Syrian soldiers, it's like, here's Elisha, here's the other guy, and all of a sudden you're as blind as a bat. You need to think about things. And we all need to think about things. Need to walk by faith, not by sight. And sometimes the best thing for us is when we're all alone and it's just us and the Lord. And you have to examine yourself. So here these soldiers are, and you just be with your thoughts for a little bit. So he leads them to Samaria, and then what does he do? He says, okay, open their eyes. And they open their eyes, and there they are in Samaria, the capital. And they're probably thinking the same thing that Israel's king is thinking, because Israel's king says, you want me to kill him? They're in verse 21. Can I kill him? He repeats it. He really wants to kill him. And Elisha says, no, don't kill him. Make him a feast. Feed him. And he gives them a great feast and then lets them go. And so the bands of the Syrian raiders came no more into the land of Israel. And opened their eyes. And when those men opened their eyes, they probably thought, we're dead men. And then they are shown mercy. They're shown mercy. It's a marvelous thing, isn't it? When the veil is lifted, when all of a sudden we see the Lord's grace and mercy open our eyes that we could see. When the veil is lifted in the by and by, scenes of wondrous beauty will greet the raptured eye. Of course, pointing to heaven. And we look forward to that day. Appreciate you. Hope you have a good day. Join us tomorrow for another portion of our Daily Praise.